Welcome back to another edition of Life in Pictures podcast. This week on the show, we're starting off our summer at the movies. As everybody knows, summer is the best time to go to the movies because that's when all the studios put their big blockbusters out for the year. This year is no exception. We have already made some pretty great use of our Regal Unlimited Pass, and today we're going to be talking about 3 brand new movies that are still in the theater. Inside Out 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Bad Boys Ride or Die.
And as always, please note that there will be spoilers, especially because these movies are currently still in the theater. And so go ahead and pause now if you'd like to go see those movies. Come back, listen to us in full, and then rate and review.
Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, the first movie we're going to talk about today is Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2 is a movie that's made by Disney. It's a sequel to the movie Inside Out, which came out in 2015. Inside Out is a movie that showcases emotions, specifically the emotions of a little girl named Riley. And basically each one of her emotions is showcased as a different character. And now it's 9 years later, and she has new emotions and more complex things going on in her life. And so this movie kind of deals with that and shows how she is dealing with getting older and the things that go along with that.
Yes. So Inside Out 2 was released on June 14th, 2024. It had a budget of $200 million. So far, the box office is at about $512 million. And that's worldwide. It's already surpassed its budget at $286 million in the U.S., and that is just to date as we go to press. It is currently in theaters, so you can go see it. We went to see it with our Regal Unlimited Pass. It was a great use of it. And for those of you wondering, there is a post-credits scene.
Yes. Well, we didn't only go see this movie alone. We took the kids to see the movie too, so they're going to talk about it with us. What do you guys think?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was very good. I thought like some of the parts were just like okay, but you can make it better. You're Disney.
Oh, interesting. Say more.
Like I felt like sometimes it was just like okay.
So the thing that I thought was cool about this movie was it gave you a chance to kind of catch up with these characters. I mean, the way that any sequel does. But it's at like a kind of a pivotal point in her life. And she's dealing with all kinds of new and complex emotions. One of the ones that shows up is anxiety, which wasn't really there when she was little.
And can I just say that the way that they nailed anxiety, like the way that the character looked, the way the character acted, like everything about that character is, as an adult, so spot on and I think so relatable. I was thinking, like, which of the characters do you relate the most to?
I don't know if I have one I relate the most to. I do enjoy Anger, which is voiced by Lewis Black, just because I'm a fan of his anyway.
I feel like I'm Disgust.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I am a little anxiety, but I'm not full anxiety. But I feel like Disgust is just me. Colin, what would you say is the character that represents you the best?
Anger.
Anger?
Yes.
Why anger?
Because I'm always angry all the time about stupid stuff.
So
All right. Olivia, what about you?
like a bit of embarrassment and joy mixed together.
Okay, that's fair. Do you guys think that the first one or this one was better?
The first one.
Why?
Because in the first one, the imaginary friend guy was there for like the almost the whole time, and he was cool. And I'm mad that he died in the first one, and he's not in the second one.
Okay. Olivia, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are the first one was like really good. They're both the same of like how I like it, but I like how they introduced like more varieties of characters. Cuz I just love cartoons.
Yeah. Well, I think it was important and purposeful that, you know, when you reach this pivotal time in your life, when you reach puberty, you get a new set of emotions that kind of start to play a bigger role in your personality and in the choices you make. And I think it did a really good job of telling a story of how those emotions can be, you know, bad and how they can be good, and how your emotions can work together to be something positive.
Yeah, so basically what happens in this movie is some of the things she has to deal with is obviously getting older. She has a group of friends that she's been really tight with for several years. She's in middle school now, getting ready to go to high school. Then she finds her and her friends are on the hockey team, and they've been doing very well in their hockey games. And they get invited to go to a camp at the local high school. I guess it's the local high school.
Yeah.
Where it's a kind of a prestigious camp. And then on the way there, she learns that her friends are actually going to go to a different high school the next year. So this is really kind of the last time that they're going to have together. And, you know, that's kind of complex and something that you definitely deal with in life is, you know, people moving away and things like that. And then, you know, so not only does she have to deal with her friends, you know, moving away the next year, but also trying to impress the people, the other, like the veteran hockey players in this camp, and presumably her teammates for the next year, and at the same time dealing with all of the new things that come along with her new emotions.
So she wants to be cool. So should she ditch her old friends? Like all of those teenage, you know, things that happen. I think it did a good job of explaining them, and of course the OG emotions go on an adventure to try and help Riley.
Yeah, because the whole point of the movie, not the whole point of the movie, but the plot of the movie is that the new emotions kind of take over, and they're sort of having Riley, you know, put on an act of like somebody that she maybe doesn't want to be. And the old emotions are trying to make her into a good person instead of someone who's just trying to be cool. And they succeed in the end. I think they find their balance finally. And I thought it was a pretty good story. It seemed like they didn't try too hard to, you know, to push any kind of messaging, you know, like any kind of social message or anything. It was just sort of like a regular movie. Similar to the first one. I did like where they had, it was still in her mind, like her favorite show from preschool. And it was very similar, at least I think it was very similar to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, where they had this character, his name was Pouchy, I think it was supposed to be Toodles. And he always had all these different tools they could use. And it was pretty cool that they were kind of self-aware and making fun of themselves a little bit.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is the bomb.
Yes, I agree.
Did you like that part of the movie?
Yes, I love that, like, the end, like, when they're actually trying to stop anxiety, like, when they're trying to get the headquarters, they're just like, Anger's just like, I have an idea. Oh, Pouchy!
I like that part too. I like when he says that and then he like reaches into Pouchy's mouth and Pouchy is like, you think I got everything in here?
Me too.
Pouchy and Anger become friends in the end. An unlikely duo. I thought it was also cool where they had the vault that they got stuck in, or they got trapped in by the other emotions, and there was like the big deep dark secret in there. And it was just kind of like a good representation of, I think a lot of people's sort of inner monologues and feelings. And then the post-credits scene actually was that deep, dark secret. They reveal what it is.
I forget what it is. I don't remember.
It's like I burned a hole in the rug or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
it's like not even really that bad, but...
Wait, how'd she burn a hole in the rug?
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that, but it's something along those lines. So it was a good movie. I think it was enjoyable for children and adults. I think it had really good themes and a good message overall and packed full of stars. I didn't really even realize how many stars until the credits were rolling.
Yeah. Tony Hale's in it. He plays Forky in Toy Story.
Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Louis Black, Diane Lane, and Kyle MacLachlan play the parents. Maya Hawke. So yeah, it's just filled with celebrities that I guess I just didn't really realize were in it. Yeah, so that's that. Anything else you guys want to say about the movie?
What would you rate it out of 5 stars? 0 stars being the worst, 5 stars being the best.
3.
Why?
Colin says 3. Why?
I say 3 because it was accurate. I feel like some of like the characters weren't as like funny and stuff as they were in the first one, and also I think the plot in the first one was better.
Okay. As a 13-year-old like Riley, do you feel like those emotions were kind of accurate to emotions that you currently experience?
I feel like some of them were, but some of them weren't. I feel like anxiety definitely was. I don't really know about envy.
You're not really an envious kid.
You're not.
You don't have a lot of you're not jealous of people.
Yeah.
But it is something that plagues girls a lot more than boys for sure.
And then I feel like ennui and embarrassment are accurate, just not for that time period. I feel like you get those way earlier than 13.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like you definitely can feel bored and embarrassed way before you're 13.
I agree with you.
And then I guess nostalgia probably doesn't make sense either, because I feel like you're not old enough to really experience nostalgia.
True. Okay. Olivia, what would you rate the movie?
I would rate it out of
5.
Out of 5, I would rate it 1,000 out of 5. I thought the animation was really good. I know the actual original plot for the first one.
Oh, okay. Tell us.
So the first original plot was there was going to be a character named Depression, and the other emotions had to stop Depression from making Riley just in this depression, depressed state. And they
first movie when she was little.
Yeah, and they scrapped that idea because there was already an emotion named sadness. That's why they scrapped it.
Okay. All right. So, 2 thumbs up for your rating. And
Yep.
Thank you for telling us about the original plot.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you to Colin and Olivia for being our guests today. We're going to talk about 2 movies now that we have seen that you all did not see. So, thank you so much for joining us. So the next movie we saw was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Actually, we saw this before we saw Inside Out 2. But so we saw this movie the other night, and we have been watching the Planet of the Apes series, and it's been pretty interesting to us. So we wanted to check this movie out as well. It is currently in theaters. It was released May 10th, 2024, with a budget of $160 million. And so far, worldwide, it's made about $380 million.
Yep, and 162 in the USA. So either way you look at it, they've turned a profit. It looks like. It does have it. We didn't actually stay after the credits, but from what I've heard, it doesn't necessarily have a post-credits scene, but it does have kind of a little Easter egg at the end there. And that is the ape orangutan. Is it orangutan or tan?
Orangutan.
Orangutan Raka, which is introduced in this movie. Apparently, you kind of think that orangutan died, but that there's sort of like some noises at the end that maybe make you think that he didn't die. So maybe there is going to be another one. I guess we'll see. But like you said, we have watched the other trilogy. So Planet of the Apes there's a lot of movies in this series. I believe the originals were in the 70s with Charlton Heston. We didn't really watch those. Then there was like a remake, or I don't know if it was a remake or if it was a new story or what. But in 2001, there was one with Mark Wahlberg, which I watched a little bit of, and it didn't seem like as good as this series. And then they started up this past series, I think was 2012 was the first one, and the last one was in 2017. And I don't remember the order that they went in, but the names of them was like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, or something like that. And we watched all of those last year, and they were really good. And I remember hearing that they were going to make this one, and being excited about it, and wanting to go see it. So now that it's finally out, that's cool that we got to go see it. So the plot of this movie is that it's many generations later after the end of the last trilogy, and apes are still in control of the world. Humans have kind of regressed. It's sort of like a role reversal where the apes are really smart and they're running things, and the humans are kind of primitive. And so it starts out with 3 apes, Noah, Anaya. I don't remember the third one's name. Do you?
No.
All right, I don't know. But anyway, they're gathering birds' eggs. And it
Eagle's eggs.
Yeah.
They're like an eagle tribe.
Yeah, their tribe is like bird masters. And so they're kind of doing this, risky expedition to get the eggs. And on their way back, they run into, I guess, a rival tribe of apes. And it turns out that those apes are led by Proximus, who is the antagonist of this movie.
So to back up just a little bit, Caesar was the the leader of the apes as they originally rose up in the beginning of the trilogy, and he had a decent relationship with humans, and he was not about violence. So after his death, it seems that some of the tribes were kind of taking his word and twisting it
to fit their own agenda. So this rival group came in and attacked Noah's bird tribe and was saying for Caesar. But that is clearly against Caesar's teachings. So it seemed like at this point there were some tribes of apes that were violent and others that were not, because Noah's tribe was not. They were just living peacefully. Anyway. Yeah, so Proximus's tribe, they burned Noah's tribe's village to the ground. They killed his father. They imprisoned the other apes. So he went out to try to save them. In so doing, there was a human that was following him, and he's sort of against humans too. I think it's just the way that they've been raised over the generations is that humans are, bad, or they want to hurt them, or they're lesser than them, or whatever. So he comes across this orangutan named Raka, and Raka is kind of like a hippie, I guess, if that's the right kind of thing. Maybe not. That might not totally be accurate, but he's really into the teachings of Caesar, and he explains that Caesar wasn't actually about what this other group is saying that he was. They're taking his teachings and twisting them to fit their own agenda, and it's important for us to continue the teachings and to show everybody that this is really what he was about and not what these folks are saying. So he even shows Noah that the human that's following him isn't a threat to him, and he shows compassion and gives her food and clothing, and then they find out that she can talk, because apparently like humans can't really talk anymore because they've regressed so much, and they all kind of team up together to go and save Noah's tribe from Proximus and his camp. So they get to this camp, and they eventually, come up with a plan to where they can overthrow Proximus and his group.
So Proximus is trying to get into this like bunker thing, and he's been trying every day to get inside of it because he thinks that it's going to make him more powerful, because that is where the humans went when they went underground. So it has human technology and weapons and things like that. And so it would be very, very dangerous for him to get a hold of this.
So the human, whose name is May, she helps... well, I guess Noah helps her too. They all end up finding another way into this place and finding all this technology and everything. And then they open the door, and then, of course, Proximus tries to go in and take over, and she has a gun, and that scares him. He's, okay, you can go now. And then she actually ends up flooding the place so that he can't have any of the technology. And then in the end of the movie, Noah and his tribe are reunited. Everything's cool. They're kind of going on with their lives. And then she shows up, and, you're not really sure if they're going to be friends or not. But in the end, it seems like they kind of have an understanding going forward. And then it turns out that, like, one of the things she took from the base, she ends up she finds another, like, kind of base where there's humans, and she gives it to them, and it's a decryption key for satellites. They use it, and then their satellites come back online. So it's kind of foreshadowing that maybe the humans are about to rise up again. And personally, I think that maybe if they're going to make a new trilogy, it seems to me like that's what this is like the start of a new trilogy, and that Noah's kind of the new Caesar. And that, so in this one, the apes are on top. In the first one, I think maybe the second one, the humans kind of maybe gain a little more ground. And I'm thinking in the end, they probably learn how to coexist. Because, the first time around, the humans mistreated the apes. And obviously in this one, the apes are mistreating the humans. So I think eventually that's where they're headed. It's pure speculation. But it seems like a pretty cool story that I'd be interested to go see the rest of these movies as they come out, assuming that they're making more.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I think some of the cool things about this was the animations in them were really good. I mean, it's kind of getting to the point now where it's like it doesn't look like a cheesy computer generated movie. It's almost like, even though there are actors that are voicing these characters and whatnot, it's like you don't have to have a big star playing the role. Like it's almost like you relate to these monkeys as actual characters, as actual actors, And the environments were really well done. The storyline is on par with the other ones. I thought it was really good. And I kind of liked the message about how people sort of misinterpret things and use them to their own advantages. I think that was a pretty savvy commentary on our society as it is now. I think there's a lot of that going on where people like to take things and twist them and mold them to fit their own views and try to, project that onto other people. And I thought that was interesting. Just that it kind of shows like where that gets you.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you have anything that stuck out to you?
No, I mean, I thought it was a good movie, and I do think that they are setting it up to move in that direction that you spoke of. I do think it was interesting that there seemed to be like this underground society of humans. I'd be interested to know, like, maybe they'll tell a little bit more of a backstory of that situation in any future sequels.
I know a couple of things that I always think of when I see these movies is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they have that scene where he's explaining how the world's gonna be when the monkeys take over.
Yeah.
And then the Ben Queller song Sha Sha, where he says, "Don't bother me when I'm watching Planet of the Apes on TV." Which a lot of people don't understand that reference when I make it, but that's fine. Go check out Ben Queller if you don't get it. He's a really good musician.
Okay.
Anyways.
Let's talk about Bad Boys.
Yeah, so the third movie that we went to go see, we actually saw that earlier today, is Bad Boys Ride or Die. And I believe this is the fourth movie in this series.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah, because there was Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys for Life, and now Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Wow, that's a lot of Bad Boys.
It is a lot of movies, yes. So obviously this is a continuation of that series. You're probably familiar with it by now. If you're not, it stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are the two main characters. I don't know who else is a big actor in this movie. Vanessa Hudgens was in it.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but the guy that plays the captain, I feel like I've seen him in some things. I think he was on The Sopranos, wasn't he?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like he was at some point. Unless I'm confusing him with someone else.
So the movie was released on June 7th of this year. The budget was $100 million, which is interesting because that is the smallest budget of the three movies we just discussed. So far, box office has made $236 million worldwide and $133 million in the U.S. It is currently in theaters, and there is no post-credit scene.
Yes.
So I just have to say, before we give any kind of plot points or anything, like, everything that comes out of Martin Lawrence's mouth cracks me up. Like, everything he said made me laugh. Everything. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the writing or his delivery or a little bit of both, but he's just so funny. He needs to be in more movies. Why is he not in more movies?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and that's kind of like the character between the two of them is like Will Smith is kind of more of the cool one, and Martin Lawrence is more the comedic relief, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I enjoyed his performance as well. And, Martin Lawrence has always been funny. I mean, even from back when he was on Martin, and then from there, the movies he's been in and everything. Like,
Shanae.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I guess even before that, he was a stand-up comedian, and I think he still maybe does stand-up occasionally. I'm not sure if he still does that or not. But yeah, he's no argument here. He's a funny guy. Will Smith, I think this is one of those things where, I still kind of, when I think about Will Smith, I still just like, man, I really wish he didn't slap Chris Rock. That whole thing is just so weird to me. And I don't know. I don't know why he did it. Whatever. Still didn't stop me from going to see this movie. I'm like, I still want to see it. I still want to see where this story goes. I still feel like it's one of those things where it wouldn't necessarily stop me from going to see his work, but you sort of have a different attitude towards him, I guess.
Definitely a different opinion about him now. I also want to say, I was thinking about this. Why is Eric Dane always a dick in every movie that he's in?
Yeah, he and TV shows too.
Yeah. Okay. So he was. You probably don't know this, but he originated as McSteamy.
Yeah,
on
I know
Grey's
who he
Anatomy.
is.
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy won't die. It's still on. I don't
He's
even
not
know
on
what
it.
they're
He
talking
died.
about it.
They all died.
They're-
But anyway,
Every time you see a promo for it, it's like, what if everybody was a dog? Check out Grey's Anatomy. It's like, can you guys
Anyway,
just end it already?
But he's just like the worst. I wonder if he's like a really nice person in real life or if he's just like a total douchebag because he plays these roles of like complete and total assholes so well.
Yeah, well, he was on Euphoria,
Yeah,
too.
he was a bad guy in Euphoria.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy in this movie. Spoiler alert, but we already told you that. Like, but just like an unredeemable bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on the other hand, he is good at his job, playing bad guys, so
Yeah.
whatever. But, yeah, that is, I was thinking that too. As soon as he showed up on the
Yeah,
screen,
why
I'm like,
always
this guy's always
bad?
the bad guy.
Just be like,
Yeah.
it would have been like such a twist if we thought he was the bad guy, but he wasn't. But
Yeah.
no, he was clearly the bad guy from the moment he was on the screen.
Yeah, so the plot of this movie is that the captain has been murdered. I think he was murdered in the last one. But they're framing him for like being corrupt and being kind of in cahoots with the cartel in Miami. And so, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, they're not very happy about that. They feel like they need to clear his name. And so they kind of set off on this mission to go clear his name. The captain had this set up so that I guess, at a certain point, it would send a video to them explaining why these people were trying to frame him. And the reason why is because he figured out their illegal activities, I guess, and they murdered him, and now they're trying to frame him for all of the messed up stuff they did. So he's trying to tell them, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, hey, this is why they did this, is who it is, don't trust anyone, blah blah blah. So the whole movie you're kind of trying to figure out, like, okay, which one of these people on the team here is the traitor. And so they kind of go off on this whole adventure, I guess, to clear the name. And they do finally succeed in that. They kill the bad guy. They exonerate the captain. And, it's not really that much different from the other movies. So if you enjoyed the other movies, you'll enjoy this one. But I thought it was nice to just kind of the same sort of thing with the sequel. Just check up on these characters. What are they doing? What are they up to now? And I really always liked the other movies too. And like you said, I always thought Martin Lawrence was really funny in all the other ones. And I thought it was like the other ones. It did a good job of balancing out the action and the comedy, so it wasn't like all of one or all of the other. I really enjoyed it. They had some pretty good cameos. Michael Bay makes a cameo. DJ Khaled. I feel like there was another cameo because there was somebody they were kind of showing. It seemed like they kind of went out of their way to have them on the screen, and now I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But that was kind of neat.
It was, action all of the things that you would expect from a Bad Boys movie, which is actually why I'm surprised that the budget was as low as it was, because there was lots of things blowing up and car chasing scene things. And but yeah, it was good. It was a good, I'm assuming it's a wrap up to the series. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I can't really think of like too many other places that they would go with this story, I thought it was kind of weird how it was like, in the last movie, Will Smith gets shot in the beginning and he's all out of commission. And then in the beginning of this movie, Martin Lawrence has the heart attack and he's out of commission. Yeah. Not as long as Will Smith was in the other movie, but, I was like, oh, are we doing this again? Is it going to be just the other way around? But it wasn't.
No, it was Martin Lawrence is so funny. He's just so funny. I can't. Now I kind of want to watch the other ones.
Yeah, and then it's another one of those things too where I feel like if you haven't seen the other ones recently, you don't have to have seen them to understand what happens in this movie, but you might want to go ahead and watch them again, because I know there were some references they made where I'm like, okay, I've seen every one of these movies, but it's been long enough that I don't remember all of the references off the top of my head. Yeah. So you don't have to go see them. You don't have to watch them to understand what happens, but it might help if you kind of jog your memory before you see this movie.
I agree. True.
I know there was one part in this movie where the one of the cops, or I think he's running for mayor, or was it mayor, or I don't know, he's running for something.
The district attorney was running.
That's
for mayor.
okay. That's what it is. Yeah. And so like he says something bad about the captain, that the captain was dirty, and Will Smith goes up to him and he says, "Call him dirty one more time." And I was like, oh, please just go up and slap him and say, "Keep the captain's name out your fucking mouth." Didn't happen, but I was really hoping that would happen. I was really hoping somehow they would reference that, or like maybe they kind of did, because there's a scene where Martin slaps him at the end several times. Although they didn't specifically allude to it, I was like, I kind of made me wonder like if that was on purpose.
I don't know that from the vibes I get of Will Smith, I don't think he has a sense of humor about it. I don't think he's ready for
I just feel like
laughing at himself.
I think that's what needs to happen to like get people back on his side. And I think it would be great if there was some kind of scene in the movie or something where Chris Rock slaps him around.
Yeah.
And he's just like big enough to admit that, you know, I don't know, not admit. I mean, he did apologize and everything, but just to like, you know, make fun of the situation himself and show the humility and like.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he is
I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
At a place
but
yet where he can do that.
It's just so, it's such a tragedy because like you don't want to not like Will Smith, you know? Like he's a funny guy. You watched him on Fresh Prince all of those years. You watched him in all these movies. And then he does that, and you're like, why are you doing that? And I think he probably feels the same way, and a lot of people do too. But I feel like it kind of detracts a little bit from some of these. Not just him, like just in anyone in a situation where, you know, you're a fan of their work, and then they do something like that.
I think I read that he, like, hates being famous for that reason, because there's so much pressure on you to be this perfect person all the time that like when you do step out of a line that, you know, it's like the end of the world and your entire persona can never be fixed or whatever. And I think there's truth to that. I think that we put celebrities on a pedestal. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right. I think he was absolutely wrong. But I do think that there's a lot of pressure when you're in that kind of a space to always be on and to never show your vulnerability or whatever it is. But, you know, maybe one day he will be able to be past that moment in his life and laugh about it and joke about it with Chris Rock. I don't think he's there yet, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, you know, that's kind of the elephant in the room when you're watching a Will Smith movie now. But anyways, back to the movie. Some of my favorite scenes I really enjoyed where they were on the run after the plane crash. And they went to the kind of the redneck's house and they stole the clothes off of the line.
Oh, the Reba song.
and then Martin Lawrence is trying to convince him that they were his clothes, and he's, no, these are my black clothes that I took out of my black closet. And he says, look at your shirt, man. And his shirt says purebred white boy on it. And then Will Smith's shirt is a Reba McEntire shirt. And they said, well, sing us your favorite Reba song. So they just make one up.
Like, and the thing and the love and the strong woman.
And then they started saying bad boys, what you going to do? No, don't sing that. But then there was a version of that song sung by Reba, or it sounded like it was Reba. I'm assuming it was.
I don't think it was a man.
No, I think that was Reba singing the song. when they played it when they were driving away.
Okay, we have to look.
And
that
I
up.
think she was like kind of in on the joke. That's what it sounded like to me. And if it
it
is
was
the
a
case,
country version
that's hilarious.
of Bad Boys, but I think it was a man.
I think it was her. It sounded like her to me.
Okay, hold please as we look this up because we need to know. So Travis is gonna Google it right now.
Let's see.
Meanwhile, it was very funny. So they're wearing like purebred white boy and the Reba McEntire shirt.
Yeah, it looks like it according to the internet here. She recorded a cover of the song. I'm pretty sure that's the song that's playing in the movie. So, yeah.
Okay.
They're just great, That's really funny. Like I love that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about with like Will Smith. If he would like make a reference to that and joke about it, that would be great. Whatever. But like that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about where it's funny. Like if somebody comes at you like that when you show that you can take it in stride or whatever.
Yes.
I thought that was a really funny part of the movie.
So I think that we've seen pretty much every movie that is currently in the theaters at this juncture, and
Are all the ones we wanted to see.
all the ones we wanted to see, and hopefully some more new movies will be coming out soon. I do want to see that Twisters movie. That looks pretty good.
Stop trying to make Glenn Powell happen. It's never going to happen.
It is going to happen. It already happened.
So for those of you who don't know what that is, at his last movie premiere, his parents showed up on the red carpet with signs that said, "Stop trying to make Glenn Powell happen. It's never going to happen," which I also think is hilarious. I love that kind of stuff. And for the record, I think he's a good actor. I've enjoyed the last few movies that I've seen with him in it. And it looks like he's on the rise and hope he keeps going. Anyways, sorry. Keep going. What were you going to say?
I actually have no idea.
You wanted to see Twisters.
Oh, I want to see Twisters. So I think some more movies are probably coming out. Usually around the 4th of July, you get like the biggest hits of the summer. So I'm hoping that we're getting some really good ones here shortly, and we'll be able to come back and talk with you about them.
Yeah, and if you have anything you'd like for us to talk about, hit us up on social media at Life in Pics Pod on everything except for Facebook, and Facebook is just Life in Pictures Podcast. I don't know if we'll be able to get to everything that everybody wants to see, but, go ahead and throw some suggestions out there, and maybe we'll
Also, if
take
you
a look.
have this is not a movie per se, but if you have a recommendation for a good binge watching show, I just finished Revenge, and it was top notch, and I just need another show to watch that's like that. And right now, nothing is really cutting it, so I'm just watching documentaries in the meantime, which is fine. But if you have a show that is the same vein as like a Revenge, Desperate Housewives situation, let us know.
Yep. I would like to not watch 4,000 episodes of a show like Revenge again. So
Whatever, it was awesome. I loved it.
I don't know if it was good or not, honestly, because I didn't really pay attention to it. I just know there were a lot of episodes of it.
There were literally 4 seasons, okay? We've watched shows that have like 10 seasons.
Yeah, but we watch shows that have 10 seasons where there's like 12 episodes in a season.
All
These are like
right.
22 episode seasons.
That's what a network
So
show
like,
is.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like 80 something episodes of this show.
Okay.
And they're all like an hour long. It's like 80 hours. It's like 2 full weeks of work right there.
Well, you know what? This is a full-time job. Anyway, thank you for listening today. If you want to give us suggestions for what we can listen to, reach out to us on our socials. Travis already told you what they are. Please go to your podcast platform of choice and rate and review so that more people can listen to our wonderfulness. And yeah, with that,
We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.